He's one of the premier coaches in college basketball, and he has his guys playing exactly at the level that he anticipated, with Edwards, Moretti, Ramsey, Shannon, and Holyfield starting five for Texas Tech. Oklahoma State, Likely, Waters, Laurent, McGriff, and Annette. Shannon and Holyfield starting five for Texas Tech. Oklahoma State, Likely, Waters, Laurent, McGriff, and Annette. And Mike Boynton Jr. starting to see this team beginning to play with a little more confidence. And the tip is controlled by Oklahoma State. Sir, we need you to sit down.
And yeah. And right now we go to a little
dump it inside. Annette off the rim.
That's got to get extra possessions. Annette's got to do some damage inside.
Laurent is short on the three ball. He's not shot it well from long range, and that was the scouting report when he transferred from UMass.
Not the best of shooters. Yeah, over 50. He led that Atlantic 10 conference.
Our officiating crew: Joe DeRosa, Michael Greenstein, Kirby Sitton. Here's the explosive Jamias Ramsey. Get it outside for Edwards.
And he could do some damage with the dribble, finish, or nail that three.
Moretti, shot clock winding down. Ramsey, a ball fake, hoists, air ball, and a shot clock violation.
Well, you got to match that defense, and the big thing with Texas Tech, you got to match them. Every play, every possession, every second, they contest.
Oklahoma State has won 2 of its last 3. Coming off a 64-59 win at Kansas State on Tuesday night. They shot 51% from the field, took just 8 three-pointers, made 2 of them. Cameron McGriff, senior from Grand Prairie, Texas, and a physical force for the Cowboys.
Yeah, very tough guy, inside or out. You got to finish late in shot clock. Another terrific defensive stand.
And it's going to go the other way. Shot clock is at 0.
Try and force you to keep it on one side of the floor. Little dribble drive. Everybody's alert. You got to learn how to jump shot. And they're going to put a second back up. Right?
They are, ref. So one opportunity here for Oklahoma State at the 18:37 mark.
And they do a great job on out-of-bounds plays. They're still conferring on the shot clock. Joe DeRosa. This team runs some terrific out of a lob, and you got to get a little. They took it away. Great deep preparation.
Lob it. McGriff does hit the rim. Rebound to Likely, so an extended possession.
Nice pump by Waters. He's going to be forced to get 2-point shots.
And a good find. Jonathan Laurent nails it for 3.
Welcome. Making shots outside that you set up that little dribble drive game. A lot of motion, a lot of back screen, a lot of pop on this end of the floor by Tech.
Texas Tech, a blowout victory over TCU on Monday night. Inside, Janet couldn't finish it. And Annette gets it ahead.
And you've got to be alert. An excellent cutting team as well.
McGriff, back it out. Everything works through Likely. Annette on a spin, on a fade. And it rims out. Another offensive board, McGriff.
Oh, this is really exceptional. Getting this many opportunities. Not checking out Texas Tech.
Laurent. Rebounded by Annette. Controlling the offensive glass. Oh, that's a deep one. Waters is fouled. 3 free throws coming up for the senior Lindy Waters III.
Seldom do you see teams getting this many opportunities on the offensive glass against Texas Tech. But you mentioned how deep this is. He can shoot it. He's going to set up that little dribble drive game for them, though.
Raph, they are 1 of 7 from the field, but they have 5 offensive rebounds. Waters shoots it at 79% at the line. And one thing that we will see with Chris Beard, he will rotate guys in and out, mix and match.
You saw Benson, who can make some threes, and of course Chris Clark, their playmaker, their point forward, about to come in. And they can play small.
So Avery Benson, sophomore from Springdale, Arkansas, joined by Chris Clark, the grad transfer from Virginia Tech.
Benson can bite you once in a while. Played well at DePaul early in the year.
This series dates back to 1937. This is the 68th all-time meeting. Oklahoma State is 44-23 against Texas Tech. Clark, the penetration.
And he's going to have to do a good job. They're going to screen with him, lift him frequently. whether it's Holyfield or Clark. Look at this defense, tenacious.
Moretti has been so rock solid in his 3 years with the program. Jumper, Benson, no.
Nice
Back tap, Holyfield. Edwards thought about the three, a zigzag move.
Good driver.
Out of bounds.
Ooh, I think they get a little break.
Texas Tech thought it was tipped by Oklahoma State, but it will be Cowboys basketball.
And Clark, one of those guys, really finds people. Over 5 assists a game. I think he's second in the Big 12.
Texas Tech opens up 0 of 3 from the field. 2 turnovers in the early going. Still not on the board.
The pinch post, they look to go through.
A grip on a dump. Ane.
Got a hook.
Double team comes. Likely looks for the open man, and a 3-second call. Turnover. Oklahoma State.
And Nate does a nice job finding people opposite, though. Not a selfish player.
And Ramsey back in, so you wonder if Chris Beard just wanted to have a little chat with Ramsey. Benson a short stint.
And you got a great talent like that. Just a little quick word to the wise. Nice ball movement.
Leads to an Edwards three. In and out. And rebounded by Laurent.
Likely great driver.
Good size, energy. Another touch for Ane. Now into the hands of Waters. Laurent, dribble in, drop step. He's fouled.
Took advantage of Moretti. Got to go inside, establish some strength, and get to that free throw line.
Chance to add to this 6-0 lead, and it's Jonathan Laurent, the Orlando native, 76% shooter. He's been inserted into the starting lineup recently. Dezagua now comes off the bench. And Laurent has changed his whole approach. He was basically taking threes to start the season, and now looking to attack more around the rim. Certainly brings a physical edge at 6'6", 215.
And I think the problem with him, too, with the shooting was about 46% at UMass is preparation, bigger, stronger type of guys.
5 points for Laurent. And an 8-0 lead for Oklahoma State. They enter action at 2-9 in the conference. Holyfield, handoff for Clark. He does a little bit of everything for this squad.
Just really a talented kid, knows how to play.
Holyfield, isolation, now he'll back it out.
Under 10 again.
Edwards, 6 to shoot. Moretti.
Nice extra look.
Edwards, book it, a 3.
Pretty impressive. Moretti does a lot of nice things. Great with the bounce, keeps it alive. Obviously makes free throws.
Texas Tech riding a 3-game winning streak. They've won 4 of their last 5. Lob it.
Nice help. Moretti.
Couldn't save it. Out of bounds. Oklahoma State will retain. Just underway here in Stillwater. Big 12 battle today. More first half action.
Brad Underwood was telling me, and I asked Chris, when they were in junior college coaching us one night, they were Chuck and Doug. It's like shocking. So I guess the Bob Knight influence a little bit on both ends of the floor. That's why they run so many motion type of sets.
Cowboys get it in. They've got an 8-3 lead. On the outside, Laurent, 8 to shoot.
So you have to try and keep it on one side of the floor, Bird. You must somehow get it crossed. Nice little stop away, Moretti.
And a rough possession there for Oklahoma State. After the turnover, a travel.
That was
Holyfield.
That was actually not intended. That was for Edwards.
Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always on sports news network. Non-stop highlights, breaking news, expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today.
You got to play both ends of the floor for both these teams, in particular Texas Tech. Great preparation.
Laurent matched up with Clark. McGriff gives it up for Likely.
Back screen. Well, they likes to duck in after screening.
McGriff blocked right at the end of the play, and Holyfield has been on a serious run over the last 5 games. He's averaging 3.8 blocks per game.
And McGriff is a serious guy going to that 10. A great strength, can step out.
But a foul called on the play on that smack. Second personal on Holyfield.
That changes things, too. Holyfield plays bigger guys, plays a lot of positions on the defensive end. Shannon coming in for him.
So grad transfer from Stephen F. Austin will now have to sit. Shannon was dealing with a head injury, concussion protocol. He's okay. And a second attempt here for Cam McGriff. Shoots it at 83% at the line. Over 1,000 career points and over 700 rebounds during his time in Stillwater.
And a bunch of blocks, too. 55, I think. A tough shot going the other way.
Ramsey, nice touch.
Ready.
Off-balance delivery for Jamias Ramsey. Major recruit from Arlington, Texas, Duncanville High School.
It has time to get the hair done, though, a lot of practice, schoolwork.
McGriff gives it up. Likely drains it.
And that'll help him, too, because he is a tiger. At second and 10.
6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. Sophomore Isaac Ice Likely. Near steal. Shannon. Drive. Off the kick. Moretti. Count it. A three.
Not afraid to make that extra pass. Very unselfish. Great organization. Already.
Starting to find a flow here. The Red Raiders cut it to three.
Ball screen empty side and the duck in.
Waters forced to give it up. Likely now. Look to the interior. Will go to the other side with Laurent.
Going to force him to take twos.
The curl. Aggressive but couldn't finish it. Here comes Ramsey.
Watch Moretti on the wing. Look at this kid go.
Ramsey partially blocked. It's a nay.
How about the effort by Clark? Not only gets the rebound, but gets a foul called against the opponent. Terrific effort. Just a great push here. Just couldn't finish there with the follow-through kiss delivery. This kid allowed him at Virginia Tech and continues to.
And a foul called on Jonathan Laurent. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ramsey, floater, doesn't go. Long rebound. Here's Likely.
Loves to attack. Great defense, Benson.
Open look. Dzagwa drains a three.
Tampa, Catholic, Danella, Dzagwa. You've got to close out on him, force him to put it on the deck.
A 40% three-point shooter. He puts Oklahoma State in front 14-8.
And here's that little matchup zone. 1-1-3. Morphs into a 2-3. Middle open. Drive, dive.
McCullough is in. Outside, Clark. Off the ricochet, it's out of bounds.
The offensive dribble drive. Why not? Sets this up. Get them organized. Terrific range. It really helps entry passes, too.
Change here for Oklahoma State. Caleb Boone checks in. One half of the Boone twin representatives here for Oklahoma State. Keelan, his brother, still on the bench. Jumper goes. A smooth delivery for Jamias Ramsey. He's shooting it at 45% from downtown.
Just one of those guys beats you in a lot of spots on the floor.
And it's 14-11 Oklahoma State.
I say the Twins are a boon in the recruiting process.
I mean, some would say that. I wouldn't. Floater doesn't drop for Likely. Oklahoma State is now 1 of 7 on 2-point attempts, 2 of 4 on 3-point attempts.
Well, they put the pressure on you to get back. Still the zone. No, straight man now.
Extended time here for Avery Benson. The walk-on for Texas Tech. Moretti, stop and go. Tip ball by McGriff. And it's out of bounds. 11:49 mark. Competitive first half. Oklahoma State has got the lead at home.
You leave it to me. I'll get your taxes in an okay place.
About business. Take away your strengths. And the offensive end, they can be mystifying with all the motion, little bumps, the flares, mentioned the curls, all the things you have to be in communication with your teammates, particularly on the defensive end.
They had a 46-point win over TCU. Jumper, Ramsey, too strong. That was the largest win for Texas Tech in a Big 12 game in program history. A turnover, McGriff steps.
Well, when these two played in Lubbock, was a good game with a couple of minutes left and a half. That's why you got to play possession by possession against Texas Tech. And, of course, then they got whipped pretty good in that second half.
Yeah, 85-50 the final on January the 4th. Ramsey had 18 points in that victory. Here's Moretti. The fake. He tried to lean in on the defender. Boone didn't bite. Moretti threading the needle.
Really good defense thus far.
Ramsey, and he just tossed it to Oklahoma State. Another turnover. Likely right down the middle. He tried a Euro, and it is a tie-up. Kyler Edwards getting in there defensively. And the possession arrow will favor Texas Tech.
Likely such a tough kid. Great strength going to the lane. Terrific defensive maneuver.
Each team has turned it over 4 times here, Rap.
Point guard and a linebacker body. Fran Fraschilla calls it. And he looks at, tankish.
Edwards lets it fly. No. And rebounded by Likely.
They've got numbers here if they want.
Likely on the push.
Good hustle.
Nice find in the corner. Waters.
Ooh, got to be careful. Respect the D.
Off the deflection in transition. So a lot of tip passes here from both sides.
Well, you got to really play big against Texas Tech. You got to help the defender, have all pressure, have your hands up and out.
Clark and Shannon will check in, replacing Moretti and Benson. And now Ane and Laurent back on the floor for Oklahoma State. 3-point game, 10:43 left to play in this first half.
You got to get your sleep playing either one of these teams.
Did you? Is the question.
Seldom.
Inside, extra feed. Clark creating space. He lost it, but right there, McCullough to lay it in.
Great feel for the game. They cut well. Clark just finds.
Oklahoma State has leaned on the seniors. 59% of their scoring this season has come from the upperclassmen.
They're keeping Likely out of the lane. Nice entry pass. A Slough. Clark, I think, Bart.
And Ane gets hacked on the inside. The sophomore, originally from South Sudan.
Nice art, the ability to give the ball up. You mentioned have been a little bit deflected, but Clark just unselfish and the ability to get free and available.
Ane was actually born in California. Parents were from South Sudan. Eventually made their way to Overland Park, Kansas. Explosive finisher, quick leaper, and the first signee of the Mike Boynton era. You know, last year, the block shot numbers were very high. He led the Big 12 in blocks, 2.7 per game. Down a bit this year, 1.9.
Robert, he plays with energy, too. Looks like he likes the game, wants to get better. And Mike Boynton, a New Yorker at a Bishop Lockland. Bobby Leckie, who played at St. Peter's, their point guard in the heyday of that program, was his coach. Saw him in Brooklyn. And that's when they were playing well, 7-0 to start the year. As Mike pointed out in the open, right? We were real good early, went south a little bit. Now let's get it going.
Yeah, hit a rough patch. Isaac Likely had to deal with mono, and the team struggled. They couldn't find its footing. And just now, you're starting to see the makings of what they thought they had before this season started.
Yeah, my life has been a rough patch. Nice screen to set Moretti up.
And Moretti hits the flip shot. Texas Tech goes in front. Remember, Oklahoma State was up 8-0. First lead of the day for the Red Raiders.
You better be able to screen and read the screen if you play for Tech.
Laurent, they go cross court, but Desagua coughs it up. Fortunate to get it back and saves it. Waters, short. Long two-pointer, tracked down by Ane. Desagua off the rim. And the box out there by Shannon.
Got to get clean looks. Desagua did. Waters did.
Edwards cut off by Ane.
Good footwork by the big guy.
Edwards, he likes the matchup with the big. Ane sticks with him.
They covered that opposite corner well.
Already ball movement underneath. Clark roaming back door. Ane gets a piece and a steal. Lead feed, Likely. Trying to make a cut on Moretti. A travel.
He did walk too. Great defense, great balance in transition. McCullough in. Give Shannon a little bit of a blow.
Chris Beard will send Avery Benson in as well. Oklahoma State is 3 of 13 from the field with 6 turnovers.
Just a little extra hop here or two. Are you big in country music, by the way?
Me in particular?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it my forte, Bill.
Well, you better if you cover Texas Tech, right?
Knocked out of bounds, and Texas Tech will retain it. During practice yesterday for Texas Tech, they've been well known for what they do throughout practice, segmented practice with music. The players get 2 choices. The coach gets 1. So 2 songs for the players, 1 for the coach. The coach's choice is a country song,
Generally speaking.
The player's choice, not so much.
Garth Brooks, they played.
They did. Oklahoma State guy. Change for Oklahoma State. Keelan Boone is in.
It might be likely for the help, but good strong drive.
And it is a foul on Oklahoma State. Monday on CBS, Cedric the Entertainer. Max Greenfield will prove opposites don't always attract. A new neighborhood. That's Monday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. So it is Ramsey to the free throw line. Surprisingly, doesn't shoot it well from there. 45% from three-point territory, 65% at the line. He's going with the Derek Chivas Band-Aid look.
Well, he got beat up a little bit this year. Why not? When you're that talented, the scouting report's going to put the X on your shoulder. Very pleasant young man. You could learn from him.
Jemias, terrific personality, misses on a pair of free throws.
Now they're excited about the next recruiting class as well to compliment the youngsters on this one.
15-14 Texas Tech. First trip to the line today for the Red Raiders. They come up empty.
Look how they protect the three-point line. They want you to beat him inside, tough twos. That's what he does well in A.
And a jumper from Boone is blocked on the outside. It's retrieved by Laurent. Shot clock winding down. And it's going to be a shot clock violation.
And that's the toughness, the tough-mindedness of Texas Tech. Relentless. Force you to make extra passes, use the shot clock, end up with a tough attempt.
And Billy, that is 7 turnovers here for Oklahoma State. We'll get a substitution. Russell Chiwa, 7-footer, traditional center, big body, 7 foot 260, has checked in for Texas Tech. Born and raised in Cameroon and then played high school ball in Connecticut.
Can post strong, runs the floor. And obviously that big strong body should be able to rebound.
They spread it.
Hit the middle and turn and look. He's a one-on-one now.
Edwards will take the fade, and he drains it.
Well, they just strip you apart, don't they? Little back cut, took that defensive help on the baseline.
It is a 9-0 run for Texas Tech. Trying to generate offense here for Oklahoma State. It's been a challenge.
You can't simulate this pressure in practice. The steps again.
A nay, a travel.
A no.
You beat me to it.
You can't get away with it.
17-14. Texas Tech leads it. A timeout.
Either one of these teams.
Oh, you mentioned Oklahoma State beginning to play its best basketball. They have not had back-to-back wins since the month of November. And they've lost 11 straight against ranked opponents. Texas Tech enters action at 24 in the nation. Out of the timeout, Ramsey one-on-one with Likely.
Pretty good dribble skills, too, Ramsey's developed.
10 to shoot. Edwards makes his move. Kick. Benson not looking to shoot it. Shot clock is down to 5.
Excellent trip right here. Got to jack it up.
Edwards. Air ball.
Wow. They are right there. And just a good example of both coaches and what they drill and expect from the stalwarts.
Change here. Shannon back in. And now Benson will sit. Getting coached up by Chris Beard. Oklahoma State, second to last in the Big 12 in shooting, 41.3%. And they've been the worst three-point shooting team in the Big 12 at 30%.
Defensive communication, so excellent. Nice dive.
Ane, knocked away. Out of bounds, 14 to shoot. Oklahoma State retains.
Boy, the great reaction they have defensively. Texas Tech. Boone coming in the game right now, but you think you have an easy one. You can't pump it up, and like the great help side, Ramsey with that deflection.
So it's Caleb Boone replacing Yor Ane. Oklahoma State has missed its last 5 shots. 8 on the timer.
Likely unable. Nice little. I thought he was in good shape. They're going to give it to Ramsey. I thought he beat his guy to the spot with that denial. You got to get it to the correct hand. Errors are not permitted against Texas Tech. I thought he beat his guy here to that spot. You know, he was way in front, did his homework early, and pays the price.
And that's the second foul on Jamias Ramsey. So Avery Benson will check back in. Trigger in for McGriff. Likely against Shannon out front with 12 to shoot.
Look at the length of Shannon, too. His hands are out in case of that. Keep it on one side now. That's what you have to do. Go opposite.
Laurent, too strong on a 3. McGriff has got the board.
They need some action from McGriff, too. Some points. He is a tough, strong guy around the rim, too.
McGriff, a slasher, good first step, has a great build at 6'7", 230.
A little jealous, it sounds like.
it
Rightfully so.
did sound that way, and you're 100% correct. Chris Clark in.
Well, some things have escaped you. Not very many.
Here it's Likely. Off the penetration. Spin. Short. Rebound. Battles for. Kept alive by McGriff. Likely the push shot. He gets the roll.
They got to make it dirty. They got to make it everybody down, dirty, get after it.
That ends a 9-0 Red Raider run.
And they make it a braggy game. Show me how much they want it.
McCullough probing. Versatile at 6'6", 195.
Doing a good job keeping Moretti away from it. He generally will catch and shoot.
Moretti, no. Strong rebound by Likely.
Numbers.
Kick. Waters cut off there by Benson.
Run you off the three-point line. Great recovery.
Laurent trying to find the open man. Likely plenty of time on the shot clock.
Good to see him attack just a little bit more.
Likely help. The cross. The floater upstairs, caught by Boone. Redirects and scores on the interior.
How about the presence and Likely with a good find.
Caleb Boone, that frame is still filling out. He puts Oklahoma State in front by 1.
They expect both brothers to be terrific next year.
They are under 5 minutes to play, first half. Deflected. Retrieved by Clark. Step back 3. Short.
He can make it and bite you, but that's not his game. He's foul line, top of the key in.
Lob. Oh, and slam! Likely the special delivery for the Boone Jam.
How about that? Which twin do you love? Woo, right now, number 20.
In team at the half.
Tough finding teams, though. Defensively, mind it, get after it, just cause chaos. Force you to individual skills. A little 1-3-1 Bird. Out of timeouts. Both clubs like little different wrinkles.
Benson swings it. McCullough got his man in the air, but elected to dish.
Nice cut.
The back door, it is blocked by Boone. Ramsey couldn't get a clean shot off.
Great cut. Better D.
And knocked away. Waters going the other way. Benson lays it up and no good, but a blocking foul.
I think Benson did the right thing. Could have given it up maybe out near half court and gone back to back to one another. Playing with some confidence.
And D. Mitchell back there, the last line of defense.
No question of the call. He got a piece of him. Was sliding all the way through it. Good teams have guys who come in and do a good job. They don't mind their role. They understand their role. Number 21 is one of those guys.
First miss of the season at the free throw line for Avery Benson. He's now 7 of 8. He was offered a scholarship by Chris Beard when Beard was at Little Rock. And then once he left Little Rock, Benson had to make a choice. He was not going to get a scholarship at Texas Tech. He was willing to walk on, and he did, and he's become a contributor. Texas Tech is 1 of 4 at the free throw line. They cut the Oklahoma State lead to 2.
And a little 2-3 look. A little wrinkle. Take away the deep shot. And then they go man late. Got to be ready for a lot of things.
Cowboys are last in the Big 12 in assists, just under 12 per game. Mitchell. Kick out. Laurent.
Sleepwalk.
Yeah, he did. He shuffled the feet.
That's what they do. They rattle you. Couldn't get it to the other side.
Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. Good one.
Good. They honored some cancer victims here earlier in the day. Impressive. Of course, we got to know him. Eddie Fogler, he worked under. And then Dave Odom at South Carolina. Mentioned his New York ties.
Yeah, Mike Boynton's only 38 years old in his third year as a head coach, assistant at Oklahoma State, Stephen F. Austin, South Carolina, where he went, Wofford, Coastal Carolina, and a grad assistant at Furman. That's out of bounds. They will retain it. Texas Tech.
Pretty good denial by Caleb here.
Ooh.
I think that, well, a little mix up once on occasion.
Edwards to Moretti. Behind the back, a little razzle-dazzle. McCullough outside. Benson off.
The other way. I thought they're going to stay there. I thought McCullough.
Wow. McCullough was surrounded by 3 Oklahoma State players, and the foul is called on the Cowboys. McCullough, a native of San Antonio.
One of those kids that uses screens well. You got to be able to do that. He's got a little pull-up game as well. He finishes at the rim. Benson gets a little quick jack. After his quick jack.
Lob it in for Edwards. We hit 3 minutes to play in this first half. 2-point lead for the Cowboys.
You got to be alert off the ball. Nice pull-up.
McCullough off the rim. Rebound. Shannon. And a tie-up. Possession arrow to Oklahoma State.
Well, Shannon's got great size. It says 6'6". I think he's a little bit bigger. And very good at the glass. And of course, if you shoot him soft enough, you can go chase him. And I guess when he brought it to his belly, got 4 hands on it.
He was a wide receiver on his high school football team. Chicago All-City performer in that sport. Avery Anderson, the third, is in. Off the lob. Attack mode, Boone, and he's fouled.
That was a Henry Iba philosophy. The ball's got to be touched on the foul line on each trip and run your sets off that.
So Caleb Boone, Tulsa native, 58% shooter at the stripe.
You know, I thought Anderson walked, but he was on the floor. He stood up. You can't do either. Stand and go down or get up.
Caleb Boone, post presence, brings quickness. And they expect he and his brother to be key contributors during their time in Stillwater.
And they're all talking about some key recruits, too, for next year.
Oklahoma State signed one of the top recruits in the country, Cade Cunningham, who is in attendance here today. His first game live in Stillwater.
Apparently one of those great gets. Here's this little flexed offense they run. You got to be ready for so many things.
8-1 run. Ramsey checks the feet and connects for 3.
And that's speed, too. He sprinted to the spot. Great acknowledgement with the pass.
1-point lead for Oklahoma State. 2:10 to go, first half.
Trying to go to the pinch post, but they can't.
McGriff watched by Shannon. Entry. It goes down for Laurent.
What a great look by McGriff. Got that size to make the entry.
Laurent, we mentioned, played at UMass. Before that, played at Rutgers for 2 years, so he's bounced around. 24-21, Cowboys. Ramsey on the stop and go.
Excellent defense.
Ramsey will let it fly. Bottom. It's a 3.
Boone started clapping his hands. A premature elation.
Tied at 24. A minute 26 left on the clock.
Little mix up here. Some were in zone. And another back man.
Anderson looks down low. Entry. Boone. He's got the height advantage on Moretti. The help. Boone. Big shot. Off the rim. And the rebound claimed by McCullough. Edwards leads it for Moretti. Edwards, he has the mismatch with the big.
Tough shot.
On target. It's a 3.
Woo! The freedom, huh? Big time. Kyler Edwards. Because he and Shannon, I think, are the guys that have improved with this team. We know what Moretti and Ramsey can do. They got some studs.
The all-around skills of Edwards have really been on display in his sophomore season. Texas Tech is 6 of 15 from downtown. They lead at 27-24. Likely on the feed for Anderson.
Look at this harassing D.
McGriff for the tie.
Oh, wow. I don't know if he saw that go in. Pretty good closeout.
Cam McGriff from deep.
They go to zone.
Shot
in an offensive putback.
Shot clock is turned off. We're down to 10 seconds left in the half. Ramsey gives up his dribble. 6 seconds. Edwards. Lob it up. Catch and release. McCullough. With 0.7 on the clock. A timeout called. Well executed.
How about that preparation for that? The eye coordination. Just put that.
Raph, they added some time to the clock. It's now 1.7 for Oklahoma State.
You can do the home run or get a turn towards the basket. And they're going to do the home run.
It is likely. Looking. He's going to get a shot off. McGriff at the horn. Off the window.
Well, you want is an opportunity.
End of the first half here in Stillwater, and Texas Tech has got a 2-point lead, 29-27.
Unfortunately, sloppy play, kind of. Nobody really ringing a bell because terrific defensive pressure by both clubs.
Texas Tech trying to keep the winning ways alive. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State, if they have to muck it up, they'll muck it up, whatever it takes.
It's all about winning. And they can make you look unattractive.
29-27, Texas Tech leads it as we start the second half. Moretti tried to go backdoor for Ramsey, and it's out of bounds, kicked, so shot clock at 20.
Holyfield only 5 minutes because of those 2 fouls, so he's a key factor in a lot of areas. Screening, posting, can make shots, gets around 9 points a game.
There's Holyfield, he loses it. A scramble for the ball. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Oklahoma State, and it was Waters who went down hard.
He's been banged around, and well, Edwards really takes everybody out on this particular play. Not a bad. Would that be illegal in the NFL?
I believe.
Would you throw a flag?
I would throw a flag. There's been a lot of congestion throughout this game. Anytime you get near the paint, and it shows you the level of defense that's being played by both teams.
They're always there on the catch, both of these clubs. Always in the passing lane, homework early.
Edwards gives it up. There's McCullough getting the start in the second half, and they run out of time. But one thing for Texas Tech this season under Chris Beard, they have been the best scoring second half team in the country in terms of differential, just ahead of Gonzaga.
And I think that's all preparation at halftime. What the other team has done well, you're going to take away, and offensively maybe punching it in a little bit off the bounce, the extra pass, nice shape up. Got to be tough with the ball, though.
Entry, Ane, that's with the right hand. And a foul over the top. And likely is charged with it.
A likely suspect. Well, that's one thing. You got to make a quick decision once you catch it. Ane, and be silly with the basketball.
When Ane scores in double figures, this Oklahoma State team is 11-0. He is yet to score here this afternoon. Ramsey gives it up. McCullough, good-looking stroke.
Too easy. McGriff sort of tardy in the coverage.
McCullough's dad, Kevin, played football at Texas Tech and in the NFL with Green Bay.
They had a good quarterback out of there recently. I wonder what he's doing.
You've been following the league, I guess. Laurent inside, nice up and under.
Nice hesitation, too. And with the 2 fouls, Holyfield sort of laid back.
31-29, Texas Tech. Edwards, the jumper. Rims out, rebounded by McGriff.
Forced him on one side, a little counter punch.
Likely picked up by Moretti. First 2 minutes of action in this second half. Laurent trying to take over, and a blocking foul is called. A couple of free throws coming for Jonathan Laurent. Tomorrow on CBS, what's the state of the epic Australian wildfires? 60 Minutes goes down under to find out. Plus, behind the scenes at Broadway's most anticipated musical, West Side Story. 60 Minutes tomorrow on CBS.
This team's getting bigger. Texas Tech. Shannon coming in the game now.
And the third foul on Holyfield. So Laurent at the free throw line. It goes quiet here. 76% shooter. Shannon returns. Mentioned that McCullough had been out there at the opening of the second half. They'll rotate Holyfield out with those 3 fouls.
Is this your first trip here, by the way?
First trip.
Did you go around the area and see him?
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of time to soak up.
They had a Beatles concert last night.
I heard, well, not the actual Beatles, Bill.
Well, it seemed like not all of them.
No, not any of them.
But it was a sold-out performance. As we had our team meeting, which made us unavailable.
Jemias Ramsey held in check here. Edwards with 10 to shoot.
Hasn't had a touch to face guarding him.
Shannon, the lefty J. He's got it. A 3.
Oh, they can bite you, can't they? Separation. Really like he and Edwards.
And it's 34-31 Texas Tech.
Tough pass, likely.
And a foul called as Ane grabbed for it, and McCullough is in some pain.
And he got banged around a little bit. Just nice little footwork to find the kick back and get him organized. That beautiful lefty stroke. And some talent. Collapsed that D with the dribble drive.
Yeah, McCullough took a shot to the face here. Ane. 3-point lead for Texas Tech. They'll work it with Ramsey.
Look at that burst of speed.
Quick first step, hooks a pass. On a swing now, Moretti turns the corner. Couldn't finish it, and a foul called
on the checkout.
Basket will not count for Shannon. But a foul against Oklahoma State.
And that little drive, a little late checkout. Already loves to go to that one hand, that little right. He has a little hook too, but loves to put in the right hand, doesn't protect it.
And that's 2 on Laurent. Ramsey head and shoulder fake, likely doesn't bite. Edwards, open look, on target, a 3.
Look at the screen by Shannon that set it up. Whew. Tyler Edwards, wide open. Pinned this guy.
3s for Edwards. 11 points overall, and a timeout called by Oklahoma State. Texas Tech opens up a 6-point lead early in the second half.
5-Hour Energy gets you through your on-the-go life.
They're always vying for the NCAA champion. I think Victor Hovland was here the last few days, they said.
Who's they, exactly? Who are you quoting?
PR people.
Oh, okay. You've got sources.
Occasionally there's misinformation.
No.
I trust them.
Never. 37-31 Texas Tech after the timeout.
A little trap out of the 2-3. Again, a little wrinkle, and they're going to get a nice little pass to bail out here.
And a foul called. Boone will head to the free throw line, and that's Waters making an excellent feed to the corner to create some space.
Shannon trying to bail out with the foul at the end, but just a great read, being in the right spot. Here's that trap. You got to make quick decisions. Great coverage. And that little dribble extricated him, and then the find on the sideline, eventually getting to that free throw line.
Caleb Boone, 58% on the season. His team is down by 6.
He's more of the inside of the two brothers.
And if they go down in games by a considerable margin, it's tough for them to come back. They make the second fewest threes in the conference, just 6 per game. Only West Virginia is making less threes. They play a different style.
They've got to get it inside, at least get to the free throw line off a drive.
They are 3 of 7 from long range this afternoon. Ramsey gives it up. Ball fake, hanging in there. It's McCullough with the banker and 1.
As good as Ramsey's drive was, getting available, he was really in tough. They covered the far corner, a little dribble drive, and all of a sudden he doesn't have that pass, but look at McCullough arriving on the scene to a little kiss delivery.
This Texas Tech team leads the Big 12 in assists per game, and they force the most turnovers in the Big 12 as well. That usually leads to success.
I would think you win a lot of games when that happens. Chris Beard, amazing what he's been able to do with this program.
This game was tied at 31. Now Texas Tech is on a 9-1 run to take the largest lead of the day.
They stepped up the pressure. That trap. Get out on the three-point line. Take that away. He's got to go to the rim. There's the pinch post handoff.
Now it's Likely.
Look at all the vision on the ball as well as their man. Always in a help position.
They go over the top, but a hold was called on the interior. No foul on Texas Tech. Timeout called. 40 to.
It was painful. Jim Nance is looking at that graphic someplace.
Getting ready for golf coverage.
He just ruined his whole day out there in L.A. Some great games, though. Ohio State, I think it was to Cincy and Houston to Big John Thompson's Georgetown team. And you've been State Butler, UConn, right?
Well, Texas Tech has really turned up the defense in Big 12 play, allowing just 61 points per game in the conference.
Always in a help position.
Waters, the push shot, in and out. Rebound, Boone. And a foul is called. A clear hack from Shannon.
Yeah, Waters going to have to get that little float game. They're taking away anything deep. A great presentation. You've got to cut and get available with this team because of the defense of Texas Tech. And just don't give you ample opportunities to ring the bell.
Second foul on Terrence Shannon Jr. And it's Boone back to the free throw line.
Well, in my memory, Bob Knight at Army was one of those guys who could shut you out defensively. And Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, most of his career, they were so good denying the ball, getting out, passing lanes. And this team seems to be taking it another level. And some of the drills that Texas Tech uses were Knight, Krzyzewski type of drills.
Well, Chris Beard coached under both Bobby Knight and Pat Knight at Texas Tech, so you've got some of that in the lineage. And Beard, who has now really branched out a bit, Roy Williams, really out of left field, has become someone that they've formed some chemistry, some chatter back and forth.
It reminds me of you. You get a lot of phone calls from aspiring play-by-play people. But yeah, that was great. Roy called.
Yeah.
They were struggling, as we know, not the kind of year Carolina's used to. Flew in, spent some time at practice, spent some time with the staff.
Compared notes.
Exactly.
Moretti.
Leave him alone.
Rims out. Rebound controlled by Oklahoma State. And Laurent on the push. The spin to the rim. Stripped of the ball. And here comes Texas Tech. A 2-on-2 developing. Ramsey was caught in no man's land. Fortunate that they didn't turn it over.
Just on a good play at the nice pump fake. Gives it a clean look.
Off the mark for two. Leak out by Likely.
Kick to the left.
And off the fingertips of Boone.
Yeah, Waters wide open on the left. Don't gamble. Make the easy play. This team is too good defensively.
Got a change here with Benson now taking the floor. It'll be McCullough and Shannon to the bench, and Chris Clark back into the flow as well for Texas Tech.
They are very small, both teams really at this point. This is where Clark can dominate. Great facilitator, guy who makes plays.
Texas Tech is up to 44% shooting.
Likes to bounce to ecstasy here.
10 to shoot. Clark gets it up. And a foul. Offensive Clark shifting the body.
Yeah, what's he handed off? Got nailed.
Thursday on CBS, Emmy and Golden Globe winner Edie Falco stars in the new series Tommy. That's Thursday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. All right, changes now for Oklahoma State as DeZagua will check in. They need some offense, and DeZagua could provide it from the perimeter.
They've got the two deep shooters on the floor. They may have to dribble drive to get open.
Second foul on Clark, 5 team fouls against Texas Tech.
Pinned down this little America's screenplay, but Clark ready for it.
Extra feed, McGriff gets it to go.
Well, he needs some numbers. Powerful body.
40-36, Texas Tech. That's it, not looking to shoot it.
Got to stay at home because he loves to make a play from the lane.
Clark, facilitator, gives it up. Benson will fire. He's got a three.
Just get available. Just replace beautifully.
43-36. Red Raiders are 9 of 19 from long range. Desagua from deep.
Tell you what, he got that on. He gets a release. Whew. Minimal time. It was Ramsey just a tad late. They go 1-1-3 now. Let's
4-point differential. Jumper goes for Chris Clark.
That's his game right there. That top of the key in. He can make it.
Grad transfer from Virginia Tech. Didn't play last season, but has fit in so well with this Red Raiders program.
Automatic switching's been confusing.
McGriff, baseline delivery. And the action starting to pick up offensively.
A little smoother. That's just a little step late and not communicating.
45-41, Texas Tech. Oklahoma State is 4 of 6 from the field in the second half.
There's the ISO.
Clark to the corner. Moretti, bottom, a 3.
Can't leave him. Whew. He can shoot from Bologna.
His hometown. Lob it up for Likely, turns it over. Oh, a steal back, and Boone is fouled. He got hit by Clark and nearly stuffed it in.
Good play by Clark, though. Make him earn it from the free throw line. Boone's really played well, hasn't he?
Very active.
Unable to finish. You mentioned the weight situation. You got to be able to take that hit and get to the line.
He does not lack for confidence. So that's part of the reason why they have such high hopes moving forward.
A nice little poke away by Likely sets this up. And here he exposes the one hand. Should have kept it in 2 and been more emphatic.
Third foul on Clark, 16 fouls. Changes here for Texas Tech. Holyfield in along with McCullough. Benson and Ramsey sit for Chris Beard. Boone is now 6 of 7 at the free throw line. He has scored 10 points off the bench and tack on another. He averages 3.7 per game.
Nice rotation, too. Gets a little bit of a blow with the TV timeout coming.
And Laurent will check in. Boone will get that breather now. 48-43, Texas Tech.
Oh, I like it. Lets the guards play off the ball. He's so good with it, Clark.
Clark trying to penetrate. Here's Edwards. Give it up right through the wickets. Ball is on the ground. Laurent gets a piece. Scramble. And control by Oklahoma State. Scooped up by Desagua.
That's the kind of game they have to have. In traffic, be careful.
Desagua, ball fake. Bump, Moretti. Rejected Holyfield, and a foul called. Moretti with the body.
And Desagua did the right thing. That's what they're forcing you. Take away the 3. Force you to put it on the deck and complete. Get to the free throw line. To can 2. Very touching to see him. Of course, both sons are on opposing benches.
That's right.
Makes it sort of interesting. I asked Sean if they had a wager, a tie. No, I guess they want to have a nice Thanksgiving.
Scott Sutton is on the staff at Oklahoma State. There's Scott and Sean Sutton on the staff at Texas Tech. So a family affair today in Stillwater. Desagua shoots it at 78%. And the lead for Texas Tech is down to 3. Oklahoma State is 17 of 21 at the free throw line.
Well, they really moved that horn set deep and then a double across the top for Moretti. And they got a discard down on the baseline.
It is McGriff.
Yeah.
Stops the clock with 11:47 to play in the second half. Ramsey back in. And now Ane will return for Oklahoma State.
You do a ton of NBA games. Ramsey's got that kind of ability, I think, where he can do a lot of ISO things. Plays within the framework beautifully here. But when they need it, can just dominate like this. Look at this blow by. Goodness.
Couldn't finish it. And a foul called off the rebound action as Waters took a hit.
Whew. I'm going to change the color of my hair, I think, if I could do this. Head, shoulders, strength, everything but the completion. Boy, he is quick with that first and second step. Actually lost control of the ball, I think.
And the Cowboys could make a living at the free throw line here the rest of the way. Right now, a 1-and-1 for Lindy Waters III.
And he shoots around 78%.
Of Kiowa Cherokee heritage out of Norman, Oklahoma. And McGriff is now on the bench.
One of my favorite Yankees was an Oklahomian, Mickey Mantle.
Ah.
Yeah. Something. They put me in Commerce, Oklahoma.
1-point game.
I also like Tex Ritter. I'm not sure where he was from. Billy the Kid, but he was New Mexico.
Moretti screen from Holyfield. Now he releases 14 to shoot. Moretti fakes out a Ney, drives in, and floats it home. +1.
What a nice read. He knew he had O'Neill. A very difficult position for the big guys. Got to give ground with that. He bites. You don't have to do that. You can block it standing still. Clever, international performer.
There's a steadying influence from Moretti.
Exactly. Good feel, good understanding. There's so many. Doesn't need the ball either, which is unusual for a point guard.
10 points, 3 assists for Moretti. And the versatility of the roster. Edwards will handle the ball. Moretti can also handle it.
Ramsey.
Chris Clark, Ramsey.
They've got a lot of assets. Love to just switch all 5 spots if they have to. Here it is again.
Waters using the Boone screen.
Nice job getting over the top that time on Moretti.
Now the post up and a foul called. Boone is going back to the free throw line.
And a nice look by Laurent too. Pretty good size at that guard spot to find.
So Boone will shoot a pair. 10:59 remaining in this second half. We saw Big Country Reeves take the floor at halftime. His son, Trey Reeves, is on the squad.
There it is.
Little Village.
Oh, that's maybe Hamlet.
That's not his nickname.
Well, he's less than so many inches.
He's 6'4".
Right. But boy, did they embrace Big Country.
Oh,
came
they
out.
love him.
He was what, Vancouver, I think he played.
He did. Played for the Grizzlies in the NBA. And Trey has been highly engaged throughout the game when players come out and when they huddle up. 51-49, Texas Tech.
Nice denial by McGriff on Ramsey. He did the same with Moretti earlier. Again,
Shot clock is at 12. Holyfield one-on-one. Shake and bake, and a foul called on the floor.
A little nickel-dimer by Boone.
Coming up tonight, 8 Eastern, CBS Sports Network. Battle in the Big East. 10th ranked Seton Hall takes on Providence. And Raff, that was pretty special the other night. Bill Raftery bobblehead night at the Seton Hall game.
They got rid of 2.
How many?
2. It was in great demand.
2 people wanted your bobblehead.
It must be the best I've ever looked, though. Everybody said I looked like Jay Wright.
You did. You were very dapper in your bobblehead.
I thank the architect or builder or innovator, whatever you'd like to call him.
Texas Tech leads at 52-49. Holyfield, a 68% shooter. 1 out of 2. We approach the midway point of this second half.
Don't just settle outside now. When they come up, don't be afraid to put it on the deck and find somebody.
Low pass handled by Waters. He pulls up, and it rims out. Cleared by Holyfield.
That great shot, though. Good selection, good understanding. Take what they give you.
Edwards swinging.
Griff did a great job. Ramsey did a look or a touch.
Now it's Moretti with 10 to shoot. The dribble drive.
Nice pass.
The finish. Holyfield with a knockout dunk.
And that's just being available. And great penetration. Heads turn. Excellent look.
54-49, Texas Tech. Baseline delivery to the corner. Holyfield closed in quickly on McGriff. McGriff got a little body from Holyfield. Anderson trying to penetrate. Shot clock down to 3. Has to put it up and in from the outside.
Pretty good job, too. Elevating over to D. And Mike Boynton's got his guys ready, though. This is impressive.
3-point game. We approach 9 minutes to play.
Again, the big thing is it's 40. Boy, catch and shoot deep. I'm not sure about that one.
Edwards with no hesitation, and it bounces out of bounds.
With a contest, and you were talking about Moretti's feel. Terrific with the bounce in the lane. You step up to defend, and the ability to find people as Waters in no man's land here. That's just pretty good offensive selection.
Avery Anderson out of Justin, Texas, freshman point guard. And getting important minutes here for Oklahoma State. And a foul is called away from the ball.
I think Holyfield. That's number 4, right?
It is. Holyfield picking it up and may force Chris Beard's hand here as Ramsey is getting ready to check in.
A little body check on the cross screen. I got to wait till the in-between free throws likely coming in as well.
So Caleb Boone back to the line. Huge disparity on free throw attempts. This will be attempt number 26 and 27. Meanwhile, Texas Tech is 4 of 8 at the line.
Likely coming in for the shooter. He's staying here. They've done a nice job now adjusting from not taking the 3 and a little 1 or 2 bounce into the lane.
Yeah, just to put the attempts into context, 16 free throw attempts for Oklahoma State in the second half. They have just 8 field goal attempts in the second half. Boone sits. He gets a hand from this crowd, likely back in. This is a 1-point game with 8:42 to go. First meeting was a 85-50 victory for Texas Tech in Lubbock, and a foul called out front against Anderson.
I got to move the feet and put those hands in there. Barry Hinsel on that bench too. And been around.
Moretti doesn't miss very often at the free throw line.
I'm amazed he's under 90. Fractionally, right?
Just by a fraction.
See, I'm very petty.
You are. You could have given him 90. Why didn't you just give him 90?
I wish my teachers would round off the numbers in the old days.
Davide Moretti. Father Paolo played in Europe. Coaches in Italy. And now McCullough back in for Texas Tech. Terrence Shannon Jr. as well.
Full court, Bird, 2-2-1. I think his folks, Moretti's folks, came over last year during the tournament.
They did. Touch for Likely, kick it out, Laurent. Now it's Waters as we approach 8 minutes to play, second half.
I like Likely right here, ISO. There
Likely
you go.
Takes it strong, hangs, and hits, plus the foul.
What a nice call by Mike Boynton.
Isaac Likely creating.
They have not been able to get it there and do some damage. And this is impressive. That physique, able to take a hit and get to the free throw line. And just he could have handed it off if necessary, and then a drive to the rim, took it himself, finished the deal.
Well, Mike Boynton telling us that Likely really sets the tone in every phase of what they do. Even in their practices, those sessions have stepped up because of his ability to compete every single day at the highest level.
And that's what happened to them when he was out. Took away, because of that illness, his impact on this team.
We are tied at 56. Largest lead has been 8 on either side. Jump shot goes down for Jamias Ramsey.
Fell asleep and didn't deny it. Where's his pre-game talk, let us know. If they start playing like they have been lately, better practices. Oh, nice little screen by Likely. Stood McCullough up.
At a higher execution level right now offensively for Oklahoma State.
And this is the building I was used to. A little heat going now.
Gallagher Iba Arena. Open in 1938.
Look at that burst.
Ramsey can't finish it. And it's rebounded by McGriff.
Oh, he is quick. They don't get back.
Likely. He's got it.
Well, that is not defense that we've been accustomed to by Texas Tech.
Oklahoma State up by 2. A timeout in Stillwater. Conference from long range, but it's been Oklahoma State in the second half, shooting 73% and making free throws, 16 of 17 at the line. This is the first lead for the Cowboys since 24-21 late in the first half. Out of the timeout, Ramsey gives up his dribble.
Nice cut, Moretti, and a double.
Extra feed, McCullough fills the lane and fills it up.
They're just terrific that way. Coming out of the timeout, got to be ready. The extra look and cutting beautifully.
Oklahoma State went 13 of 16 from the field in the second half the other night against Kansas. Upstairs on a rack attack, Lindy Waters the third.
That's the first time they had everybody lifted. Terrific delivery.
Ramsey, the dish, McCullough walked inside and it was clean. McGriff a presence. 62-60, Oklahoma State, 6:25 to play. Likely gets instructions from Mike Boynton Jr.
Trying to get organized here. Little back screen. Pop for McGriff.
Watched by McCullough.
Nice dive, McGriff.
McGriff, left hand.
He pinned Ramsey on the screen. Excellent. Woo, great recognition.
64-60, Oklahoma State. Chris Beard was expecting a battle. He said what stood out on film, their defense. They really get after it. Here's Ramsey on the hard drive. Gives it up. And a big finish for McCullough.
They are just doing a number on dives.
Anderson rushes it up the floor. And he's picked up by Moretti. 2-point lead for Oklahoma State.
Well, you got to see the ball in the man against this team. They're not doing nice fake and finish.
Pull up, likely. Great touch.
Little quarterback play. Fake the dive, attack the rim.
66-62, Oklahoma State. We come up on 5 minutes to play in Stillwater. The Cowboys are shooting 79% from the field in the second half. Edwards inside, knocked away by Anderson, retrieved by Edwards. Shot clock is down to 7. Ball fake, Moretti the pull-up. He sticks it.
What a pass. The color, acknowledgement, and then the little bite with the uptick fake. Zone.
Cowboys lead by 2. Moretti with 15 points and 5 assists.
Now, right away, back to the man. He showed a little bit, slow you down.
Waters catching fire. In and out from 3. Knocked around and claimed by McGriff. Waters gives it up. Likely handles. Attack mode. Likely to the rim. He missed it.
Look at up.
And Likely could not get control of it off the rebound.
What a great effort, though. I love the way they're competing.
Texas Tech down by 2. Moretti, the fake, off the drive, a reach in, and a foul called on Laurent.
So many guys now able to take you off the bounce, and it's just a terrific play. The challenge doesn't make it, but look at this effort. Comes up empty. Is it a quick hand, sleight of hand? I just love the way they're stepping up their competition right now.
Caleb Boone will check in. He replaces Avery Anderson. And Moretti at the free throw line. 1-1. He's 3 of 3 today. That has put him at 90% on the season.
I feel better.
Ooh, off the rim.
Bird, that's a no-no.
66-64, Oklahoma State. Get into a set with Waters. And now McGriff.
Using screens better.
Against the zone.
Oh,
too high.
Got a little shove underneath, too. Impacted that delivery.
A turnover on an entry to Boone. Texas Tech ball when we come back.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw
Cutters.
11 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds for Isaac Ice Likely. Oklahoma State 66, Texas Tech 64. Red Raiders are ranked 24th in the country, 3rd currently in the Big 12. behind Baylor and Kansas. On a switch, Edwards has the big boom. Edwards curls to the rim. Denied! Scooped up Holyfield. Shot clock at 8.
A lot more individual. They're not running their sets as well.
Ramsey hoists. Air ball. Trying to save, and he does. Numbers to Oklahoma State. Likely lob. Boone the catch. In traffic. Boone put it down low, and he paid the price. Lead pass for Moretti off the turnover. Under 3 minutes to play. Moretti picked up by Likely. Moretti for the lead. No good. Rebound knocked over to Holyfield. And a foul called against Oklahoma State.
Waters, maybe. I'm not sure who they got it on.
And 2 free throws coming up. Both teams now in the double bonus.
They get good shots, though. Texas Tech, good clean look from Moretti. Doesn't make it. This is where you got to clean it up under the rim.
And they gave it to McGriff. Ooh. Flying in. One more for Jamias Ramsey.
Yeah, you're right about him. 65. You figure he'd be a 70-ish kind of free throw shooter.
And he splits a pair. Oklahoma State holding on to a 1-point lead. 2:40 on the clock.
I like their high post action. Let's see if they get a touch there. A little zone look, and now they go man.
12 to shoot.
Just enough to throw you off, or attempt to.
Likely looking for some room. Laurent vacates. Shot clock at 5. McGriff lets it fly. Off the back of the iron. Cleaned out. Laurent, no. Boone misses on a follow jam. And Texas Tech can take the lead. Ramsey rushes ahead.
Well, excellent defense by Waters.
The Red Raiders have missed their last 5 shots. Moretti switch.
Got to get back to their offense, though. A lot of dribble drives, not enough bumps.
We are under 2 minutes to play. Moretti makes his move. Off the kick. Edwards circles. Inside Holyfield. A foul is called.
And a good foul, too. Put Holyfield on the line is 67% free throw shooting. That's a tough shot. Guy on your shooting side defensively. And so many opportunities at the rim. Unfortunately for them, can't convert it.
TJ Holyfield, rugged, 6'8", 225. Has really picked it up over his last 5 games. Key free throws. Coming up next, 3rd round of the Genesis Invitational. Coverage available on PGAtour.com and CBSSports.com. We'll pick it up here on CBS as soon as we're done here in Stillwater. Holyfield connects on a pair. 67-66, Texas Tech. 4th foul on Laurent. Cowboys are down by 1.
Take him with the dribble.
Likely against Holyfield. Likely on the drive. Needs some help. Flip it out for Waters. 12 to shoot. No room there for Waters against Ramsey. They converge. Kick. Extra feed. McGriff. Shot clock winding down. Likely gets the shot off. Oh, it nearly went down on a bank. Oh, the steals by Likely. Likely hangs. No. Follow. No. But a foul.
How about him hanging tough? We've seen him do that a number of times this afternoon. Just a tough-minded kid. You call them ice, and why not? In his veins. Doesn't give up on a play. Really active pursuit. Ramsey negligent with the bounce.
So Likely, a 67% shooter, will get a pair. Moretti picks up his 3rd. Tie game. 1:13 on the clock. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Oklahoma State up by 1. The Cowboys are 26 of 30 at the free throw line.
Ramsey or Moretti?
Ramsey. Good defense there by McGriff. Ramsey loses it, and a turnover. Laurent comes away with it under a minute to play.
Well, they fall in love with the dribble, and it's hurt them.
1-point game. Timeout call by Mike Borton Jr. with 47.9 on the clock.
Maybe a mishandle and a slip at the end of this thing, going between the legs, and unfortunately, handoff we've seen before. The automatic switching too. You got to be aware and split it on occasion with the bounce.
Cowboys wearing their throwback uniforms. 25th anniversary of the '95 Final Four run, and they're trying to get a big win here today against Texas Tech. 8 to shoot.
Once again, that zone look back to man.
Shot clock is down to 5.
Gotta go.
Cowboys up by 1. Jumper and air ball caught. And a foul with 1 second left on the shot clock. The rebound by Laurent, and he will shoot a pair.
Well, you're really handcuffed if you're McCullough, because you're looking to check out. You don't have good vision. You expect that to hit the rim at some point, and ties him up. And what a big-time opportunity to get to that free throw and knock one down.
And Raph, the offensive rebounding numbers in favor of Oklahoma State, 15 to 8. Laurent, 76% on the season.
Plenty of time. They can bring it up, go for the 2 quickly.
Laurent is 5 of 5 at the free throw line.
Extend the floor a little bit defensively, make them use clock. Don't let them turn the corner on you with any speed.
70 to 67, Oklahoma State. Texas Tech gets it in from Moretti. Moretti drives to the rim. Rejected by Boone.
Oh, they got a foul on Waters. He wasn't tough with the basketball.
Along the sideline, that was a free ball.
He coughed it up. Just a great help side defense here. Likely it's some big time support. Boom. And right here, you got to be tougher with the basketball. And then that giveaway at the end of it. Ooh, you got to possess it.
So the foul on Waters, it sends McCullough to the stripe, where he shoots it at 65%. Texas Tech is down by 3. Redshirt freshman. McCullough had some injury issues in high school, ended up enrolling early, and benefited last year being around the team, a team that went to the national championship game.
Zagua on the floor now. Gives him another guy that can shoot the ball, spread the defense.
Trying to cut it to 1. McCullough nails it. And a timeout. 70 to 69. Oklahoma State with possession. 20 seconds.
And Bert, it's either man-to-man full or 2-2-1. I think you'll see a trap at least. And then try and gamble on a pass, jumping the passing lane. Straight man, face guarding, nobody on the inbounder.
Waters, the trigger man. Fake it initially and now floated in from McGriff. Back for Waters. Worked the middle of the floor, and a foul given at midcourt. Holyfield is done for the day.
Pretty good job, though. Almost came up with it just a tad late, Holyfield.
And Laurent will head to the free throw line where he just hit a pair.
We get a little time to think about it, too, with this substitution.
4 seconds came off the clock. 16.2, and Ramsey will check in along with Chris Clark for Texas Tech.
And a little speed, coverage.
And Jonathan Laurent will head to the line where he is 6 of 6, 15.7 rebounds for the grad transfer.
I know.
Oklahoma State is up by 1.
There's a big strategy now. 1-and-1. What does he do if he makes both? What are you looking for at this point in the game? I think he can still push and get a quick 2.
He's shooting him with a lot of confidence right now.
The big thing is what they do defensively. They do not want to gamble and turn it into a speed dribble going the other way.
The lead is 2. Short. 2-point game. 14 seconds left.
Under 7.
Edwards nearly turned it over. 9 seconds left. 71-69 inside. Clark is fouled. And will head to the line with 7.4 to play. Wow.
Unbelievable. So big that missed free throw gives him an opportunity to go for the two at the other end. Just a great look, and they've been doing it, carving them apart by getting in position to dominate. Good cuts, good reads, and a good acknowledgement.
And now Laurent has fouled out. So Boone will replace him. You know, on these foul outs, teams get to huddle up, but it almost ices the shooter.
10 seconds, supposedly.
And now Chris Clark will get ready for a pair. His team is down by 2. Laurent, 16 points for Oklahoma State, but his day is done.
71% free throw shooter.
Chris Clark.
Got to get somebody else on the lane, I think. They finally do. Get Shannon in there. Now, this is what you've drilled. If you're Oklahoma State, you got to squeeze the lane. And if anybody in a white shirt can get a piece, you can tip it back.
Misses on the second. Rebound grabbed by Oklahoma State. And it is likely with 6.5 on the clock. He will head to the free throw line, a foul given.
Just great hustle and pursuit of the missed free throw. There's still time, depending on what happens with Likely here.
Clark misses on a pair. 2-point lead for Oklahoma State. And now it's a 3-point game. We'll get a timeout. Trying to make this a 2-possession game. It's off.
A chance.
5 seconds.
They do. Smart play.
And a foul given with 2.5 on the clock.
Smart play. Really smart.
But Texas Tech is still alive.
Coaches have a rule 7-6. Give it. Anything over that is too dangerous.
And it will be Edwards going to the line.
And I asked Chris yesterday, if he makes this, do you practice this particular sequence? What kind of shot you take on a free throw? He said, yes, we do. And now he's got a timeout. They're going to talk it over.
So a 2-point game. Edwards has one more free throw, 2.5 to play.
Shannon in the game. This is another big week. Yeah.
You know that you can still win in these situations.
Absolutely.
Edwards has to miss here with his team down by 2. He does. The bounce, ricochet, and he jumps.
He went over the line.
So he had the right idea, but the officials on top of it as Edwards tried to jump in, and it was too quick.
Yeah. Before the shooter could be taken.
Waters will go deep ball, caught by Boone, and a chop down along the sideline with 1.3. And Oklahoma State headed to the line.
A pretty good find on that long pass, but you'll see too quick over the line.
Had the right idea,
yeah,
but the step just before it hit the rim. And now Caleb Boone. Now 11 of 13 at the line.
Now the big thing now is if he makes this,
they have no timeout.
No timeout, so it's got to be a pass maybe to half court, but you do not want to foul in the act of shooting either.
3-point game.
Make it a tough catch going towards your basket. That's what Oklahoma State has to think about.
They put McCullough in the game. Texas Tech down by 3, 1.3 on the clock.
Hook and ladder play. Clark backs off.
Boone guards the inbound.
Catch and hit.
Deep ball. Knocked away, and it's over. Payback for Oklahoma State. The Cowboys were blown out in Lubbock by 35, and they get revenge. here in Stillwater. 73-70. They